Are you reading a book?
Yeah.
Yeah? What's the book called?
Beautiful Oops.
The Beautiful Oops. That's a good book. Can we put that book down? Because I actually wanted us to read from the Bible today. So, Ben, in our story today, what is our story today called?
The Greatest Commandment.
Oh, and who do you think's in this story?
Jesus.
Jesus, and then, yeah, there's Squiggles too. So in our story today,
Squiggles is scared.
he is scared. Squiggles does look uncomfortable, doesn't he?
Yeah, but why?
Well, I think it's because of this. The Pharisees were a group of people that had a lot of laws. Altogether, they had more than 600.
Yeah.
Is that a lot?
Mm.
Yeah. Whew. It is a lot of rules. One day, one of the Pharisees said to Jesus, "Teacher, what is the greatest law?" He didn't think that Jesus could possibly pick one law out of so many. He was trying to trick Jesus. So what do you think Jesus will answer? What do you think Jesus is going to say is the most important law?
To not steal anything.
You think that's what Jesus is going to say is the most important? I think that's an important law, for sure. It's not the one that Jesus picks. You want to
trust God?
Trust God? That is a good one too. Do you want to read? You want to see what happens? Jesus knew the man was trying to trick him, and he looked at the man and he smiled. Love God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind, Jesus said. This is the greatest of all the commandments. But there's another really important one too. Love your neighbor as yourself. If you obey these two laws, then you obey all the laws. Do you think that's true? If you obey those two laws to love God with all you've got, with your whole mind and your whole self and your whole body, and if you love your neighbor as yourself and love other people, do you think...
What does that mean?
What does what mean?
Love your neighbor as yourself.
Well, it kind of means, it can mean a few things, but it kind of means you should treat your neighbor like you want to be treated. And like you should want the best for your neighbor that you want for yourself. So and to treat them that way. So when he said, if you follow these two laws, to love God with all you've got and love your neighbor, or love everybody else, love everyone, do you think, because who's your neighbor? Everyone, right? When Jesus talks about who's your neighbor, he means everyone.
But some people will only think of neighbors as the people who live right next to you, and they never will say, it's everyone.
But what do you say?
Everyone.
What do you think Jesus says?
Everyone.
Yeah, he says it's everyone, right? If you do those two things, if you love God and you love your neighbor, do you think you'll follow all the other laws just because you'll be living in a way that follows the other laws? Here's an example. You said that you thought maybe that the most important law was don't steal. Yeah. So if you were loving your neighbor as yourself, would you steal from them?
No.
No. And you said trust God, that you thought that might be the law?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you were loving God with your whole mind and your whole body and all your strength, do you think that you would trust God?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you follow these two laws, that all of the other laws hang on these, that you'll follow those too. That these are the two most important laws. How do you think that you could love your neighbor this week? Can you think of one way that you could show love to your neighbor this week?
Giving them food.
Giving them food? Hey, I actually was thinking that we could make lasagna tomorrow, and we always make more than we need. Would you help me? And then we could give some of it to somebody else? Is that a way we could show love to our neighbor?
What about different dinner?
Not lasagna? What do you want it to be?
I want it to be macaroni and cheese.
We can think about that. Maybe. Will you help me make food that we can give to one of our neighbors?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Hey, let's pray.
Dear God, thank you for all the commandments. Amen.
Amen.